telescope captured an image deep in the constellation Vela that immediately went viral, for a reason that has nothing to do with science and everything to do with the human nervous system. There, glowing red-orange against the absolute black of the void, was a perfectly shaped question mark. A clear curve, a separate dot below it, suspended in deep space billions of light years away. The scientific explanation is rational and probably correct. The shape is most likely the result of two interacting galaxies, distorted by the tidal gravitational forces between them, stretched into a curve, while a smaller companion forms the dot. Gravitational lensing may also play a role, bending the light from background objects into shapes that mimic familiar symbols. It is a coincidence of geometry, nothing more. But the timing of its discovery felt almost deliberate. At the moment in human history when we began turning the most powerful telescope ever built toward the deepest reaches of the universe, asking the largest questions our species has ever asked, the universe responded by producing an image of a question mark, several billion light years away. We are seeing it as it was long ago, which means whatever produced that shape did so before life on Earth existed. What makes the cosmic question mark unsettling is not what it is. It is what it implies about pattern recognition. The human brain is built to find faces in clouds, meaning in noise, intention and randomness. The universe is large enough that given infinite arrangements of matter, every possible shape must appear somewhere, including question marks, including answers, including patterns that look unbearably like messages aimed directly at us. And the only way to know the difference between coincidence and intention is to study them carefully, knowing the entire time that the universe may simply be performing for an audience it does not know is watching. Number 4. The mystery object in the Milky Way. In 2023, astronomers identified a source within our own galaxy that should not, by any current understanding of physics, exist. It was cataloged as GPMJ 1839-10. It sits 15,000 light-years from Earth, in a region scientists informally call the neutron star graveyard, a zone where stellar remnants are expected to be dead, dark, and silent. GPMJ 1839-10 is not silent. Every 22 minutes it emits a powerful radio burst lasting about 5 minutes, a rhythmic, ghostly pulse repeating with mechanical precision. It has been doing this for at least 35 years. Researchers found it in archive data going back to 1988, meaning the pulse was being recorded long before anyone realized what they were recording. Here is the problem. Neutron stars are not supposed to be able to emit radio waves at this rotation rate. The physics that produces radio pulses requires fast rotation. As neutron stars age, they slow down, and eventually they cross a theoretical line called the death line, beyond which they should go dark forever. GPMJ 1839-10 is well past that line. It is rotating far too slowly to be doing what it is doing, and yet it is doing it, every 22 minutes, for decades, maybe longer. There are no clean explanations. Some researchers propose it could be a magnetar, a neutron star with an extraordinarily strong magnetic field, behaving in ways we have not yet modeled. Others suggest it could be a white dwarf with unusual properties. Still others admit in published papers that it may represent an entirely new class of object, something that exists in our own galaxy, that has been pulsing for at least 35 years, that defies the rules we wrote for what should be possible. The neutron star graveyard is supposed to be quiet. It is not. Number 3, the cosmic cliffs of the Carina Nebula. When the James Webb Space Telescope released its first full-color images in 2022, one in particular stopped the world. It showed what looked like a mountain range against an indigo sky, rust orange and gold peaks rising into wispy steam, stars scattered across the dark above. The image was real. The thing it showed was 7,600 light-years away. And every part of what you were looking at was being violently destroyed. The cliffs are not cliffs. They are the edge of a stellar nursery called NGC 3324, a region of gas and dust where new stars are being born. The tallest peaks rise about 7 light-years high. That is over 40 trillion miles, vertically, of compressed cosmic material. Inside the cliffs, newborn stars are blazing into existence, and as they ignite, they blast ultraviolet radiation outward in every direction. That radiation is eroding the cliffs from the outside, breaking down the gas and dust that birthed the stars in the first place. This is the horror at the heart of the image. The structure is consuming itself. The very act of creating new stars destroys the environment in which those stars were created. The peaks dissolving into steam-like gas in the image are not metaphors. That is real material being torn apart in real time, vaporized by the radiation of its own offspring. It looks like an alien coastline. It looks like a place you could stand and look up at. It is none of those things. It is a violent, slow-motion destruction event captured at a single frozen instant by a telescope sharp enough to make the death of a nebula look like a postcard. You are looking at a graveyard that thinks it is a nursery, and it has been collapsing for longer than humans have had eyes. Number 2. Ansky and the largest black hole eruption ever recorded. In 2024, astronomers confirmed something that broke every model they had. A supermassive black hole located 300 million light-years away in a galaxy cataloged as SDSS 1335+0728 had begun erupting violently in 2019 after being dormant for decades. They named the phenomenon Ansky, and nothing about Ansky behaves the way black holes are supposed to behave. Every 4.5 days, Ansky produces an X-ray burst that lasts about 1.5 days. Each burst releases 100 times more energy than typical black hole flares. Plumes of superheated gas, glowing in X-ray wavelengths, erupt outward with enough power to briefly outshine entire galaxies. The eruptions are rhythmic, predictable, mechanical, and they came out of nowhere. Scientists have no clear explanation for what woke this black hole up. It had been dormant, it had been quiet, and then, in 2019, it began producing the largest black hole eruptions ever recorded on a schedule that defies known physics. The current models do not predict that a supermassive black hole can simply turn on like a switch and begin firing X-ray bursts on a 4.5-day cycle. But Ansky is doing it. It has been doing it for years, and nobody can say with certainty why. The truly horrifying aspect is what it implies about other black holes. Every galaxy is believed to host a supermassive black hole at its center. The Milky Way has one. If Ansky can wake up after decades of silence and begin erupting with this kind of force, then any of them can. The black hole at the heart of our own galaxy, Sagittarius A star, is currently quiet. Currently. Quietness is not a permanent state. It is a phase, and Ansky has demonstrated that the phase can end without warning on a timescale we cannot predict, releasing energy on a scale we are only just beginning to measure. Number 1, the Stoplight Galaxy Cluster. The final entry on this list is, in some ways, the most beautiful. It is also, in the truest sense, the most violent. Discovered using Hubble Space Telescope imagery, the Stoplight Galaxy Cluster, formerly cataloged as SDSSJ 1531+3414, is a single image of cosmic destruction so vast, so prolonged, and so simultaneously generative that it forces a reconsideration of what creation actually looks like. At the core of the cluster, 2 giant elliptical galaxies are violently merging. Not orbiting, not interacting. Merging. Their gravitational fields have locked. Their structures have begun to combine, and the process is releasing energy on a scale that affects everything around them. Surrounding the merging pair are 27 individual galaxies, all bound by gravity, all caught in the same slow gravitational catastrophe. And then, between the 2 merging giants, a chain of 19 newborn star clusters has formed, stretched across 100,000 light-years in a curving arc. Bright blue knots of young stars, glowing against the warm yellow light of the ancient galaxies behind them. Astronomers call the pattern beads on a string. It is one of the rarest configurations ever observed in the universe. Here is what makes the Stoplight Cluster the most unsettling object on this list. Every part of what you see is happening at once. The destruction, the creation, the ancient galaxies dying, the new stars being born, the 27 bound galaxies pulled into the same gravitational story, the 100,000 light-year arc of new light formed in the wake of 2 dying titans. It is not a sequence. It is not cause and effect. It is simultaneous. Death and birth occurring in the same act, captured by a telescope in a single frame. The universe does not separate these things the way we do. Where we see endings, the universe is already beginning. Where we see beginnings, the universe is already ending. The Stoplight Cluster makes that explicit. It shows you, in a single image, that the cosmos is not building toward anything. It is not collapsing toward anything. It is doing both, always, everywhere, at every scale. Galaxies are merging, stars are forming, black holes are erupting, nebulae are dissolving, ancient clusters are still burning, wandering voids are still drifting. The neutron star graveyard is still pulsing. The question mark is still hanging in the dark, and we are only just beginning to see it. Each new telescope reveals more, and each new revelation adds more questions than answers. The universe has not gotten stranger. It has always been this strange. We are only now, after thousands of years of looking up, sharp enough to notice. Whatever is out there, lurking in the cosmic dark, has been there the entire time. It was there before we existed. It will be there long after we are gone, and it has never, for a single moment, cared whether we were watching. If you want to see more videos like this, click the video on screen now and make sure to subscribe.